This way we will create it. Okay. And background color I'll keep as complete white, like this. First of all, you should be able to show all the currencies here. So again, we'll go to the same API. I'll give you the link of this in the, this is the link for getting all the available currencies. This one. These all are the currencies available for most of the countries you will get it. Right? For most of the countries you will get these currencies. Second thing is we will use this link to fetch the API. So go there. First thing, these are the list of all currencies. List of all currencies means all the currencies are available. Forget about conversion. All the currencies are available. For that, what we will do, first we should be creating a currency array. How to create a currency array? For this, I will say that currency is equals to array like this, and I am creating a empty array. In this array, I will store all the currencies, right? So let's write a currencies. How to fetch that operation? I will create a constructor, because constructor we know whenever class is running, constructor will automatically do its thing. So in constructor, I will write fetch. In fetch, I will give that link, right? So I have given this link. After that, we keep dot then. This then will be giving you a response. What you will do with this response? You will convert this response to JSON format. If you remember from last case, dot then you got data, and using this data, what you will do is you will print this data to console. I will just do it for checking whether we are getting the currencies in console or not. So go to inspect and then go to console. So refresh it here. So when you are refreshing, it is returning all the currencies in the console. It means that now you got all the currencies in this data folder or is data variable. Rest what you need to do, instead of printing this to console, you can say this dot currencies is equals to data. In that way, I will say this dot currencies equals to data, means I am setting all the currencies in this currencies array. So I will remove this part, and after setting all the currencies, I will print this to console. So here I will print this dot currencies. Again we'll refresh it here and again we are getting all the currency. It means that you actually got everything inside an array of currencies, right? You go, everything is inside this currencies array, and if you have a array, you can directly display it using a ng for loop. In HTML you can display these things. Very good. So first import the ng4 and here write ng4. That's it. Now in HTML we are creating a select. We are creating a select. How select work? It has a option tag. Let's say here I will write one. then I will write 2, something like that I will say. So here you got these options 1, 2. You know this select box, select tag, which has options. So what I will do is, see, understand it properly. I am having like throat pain, so I can't speak loudly. In this select box, we will run the ng for loop. How this loop will be working? Let I of currencies, and in the option tag we will render the, what we will render? String interpolation. If you are writing directly I, we will write directly I. So here no option is coming. It means that this I is not getting executed directly. First you go to console, and console is throwing one error. It is saying that only array and iterables are allowed. So here you need to check how data comes to you. So data comes in this way, I, and these are the data. So here if you are writing something like I dot name, if I'm writing I dot name, now you will see that property name does not exist. It means that this API is fetching all the currencies, but there is nothing as name. Now at first let me remove this thing. I'm not writing it because go to typescript file. We are setting all the data of currencies into this dot currencies variable. After that, I will just print currencies with the indexing 0. I am just printing this part. Currencies with the indexing 0. So here go to console, and here remove it. I will refresh, and you will see there is one error. Error is saying that try to different object only array and this particular part is allowed. And now this is not printing this thing. Now we will try to print only this dot currencies. This dot currencies are getting printed exactly. It means that our component is having the error. Remove and refresh. This time we got all the currencies. It means that it is coming as a object for you. It is coming as a object data. You can see curly brackets. So this data is coming as a object. It is not coming as a array to you. And we can use the, what we can do here, we can only render the arrays. We cannot render the objects. For that, what we have to do is we need to render all of these links names in a proper way. Way is very simple. Way is going to be very simple. How it is going to be simple now? I will say that you are setting all the currencies directly, and this is how these values are coming to us. This is how these values are coming to us. If you just focus a little bit here, we are directly setting the currencies to the array variable. I will just print one more thing. I will print type of this dot currencies. We will check the type of this currencies as well. Go to there and you will see that the type of currency has become object. It should say that it's an array. Right. Now we are going to difference this thing. Go to select box again. Yeah, of course, we are going to discuss RSJX. In select box, I will write ng for equals to let I of currencies. Let I of currencies. And here in a paragraph text, just I will use string interpolation and I just to check what is coming inside I. Error. Only arrays and iterables are allowed. So it is telling you that you can only iterate the arrays. Object you can't. Now, if you got some knowledge, let me just close it. We'll go to React. I'm just want to show you something that what is the difference between React and here in Angular. Here also we will do fetch, response, data, set currencies, data. Same thing we will do like React. Here this currencies will automatically take the values. Here this currencies will automatically take these values and you need to convert those object values into array values. It means you need to use something that will convert object entries into array entries. For that, if you go to Angular's main website, that is Angular dev, and write there object to array iterable. Just write this thing and it will take you to the website. Go here. So you can check that here you are getting a const array with a, b, c as the value. Then you got a iterator one, which iterator one will have symbol dot iterator and it will do these kind of things. It means that you need to actually use those values for a for loop, right? If your result is coming in this way, you need to use that thing. It means that I will create a loop at first. So let me remove this select box. Instead of directly printing this data set this one, I will run a loop here. Let I equals to 0 because we are trying to run a loop in HTML. So better I will run this loop here as well. So I less than currencies dot length, currencies dot length and I plus plus. In that I will print the value of this dot currencies with the indexing I, and you will see these kind of things. This one, error, error, error. Remove everything, refresh it, and you will see one error. Okay, first we need to rebuild it. And it is not printing anything. But we are printing something to console. What we are printing? We are printing this data currencies.i. We are printing this currencies.i. That why it is not getting printed in the same constructor also we are writing it, right? We are expecting it to print something. Here if you're writing this dot currencies, now check. It means that this for loop is not even getting executed. because there is only single entry in this currencies. There is only a single entry. Now go to Angular Dev website and write ng for on object. Then you will come to the official documentation of Angular Dev and go back. So in that way you will have the values, right? In that way we are having the values. Our values are directly coming in this way, and this is a entire object. This is a single one object. This is not a array. This is one object which have all the queries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that it is having. It means that whatever data you are printing to console, this dot currencies, go back and go to console, and here that object is getting printed. Now this object is getting printed directly as a single object. Values are coming. You are getting every currency in your particular page, in your particular Angular page. How this value will be used in your HTML? For that, you should have these things. Go to official documentation, and after there, you can search for something like uh, object iterable in Angular, and go to the here. So you will get the iterable changes, right? You will get these iterable changes. It means that you have to use something like this, which will be taking one value and setting to the array, right? Which will be taking one value and set to the array. So directly I'm not setting this data value. First you see what operation we can perform here. So I will write data dot, means I want to perform some operation on this data. So if you are writing, wait, first let's print this data to console. My currencies array is empty till now. Go there, refresh, and you got one object like this. You need to convert this object into an array. For that, again, go to official documentation. I'm taking you to the official documentation because you should understand it. Convert object to array in Angular, right? Go to this official documentation you can use. For that, actually, we are going to use the map of map from JavaScript. Means that is available in TypeScript also. So go to JavaScript compiler If you know about object, so let's say I will create let object equals to, I have a object something like this, n colon means n colon shi, a colon 12, b colon r colon n, no, something like that. You have a object, and then you created a array, let array is equals to empty array. Then you said array is equals to object. Now try to print this array. So this array is getting printed in this particular way. So shi should be a string. This no should be a string. Now your array has become an object, and that's how your Angular will not work. You need to convert this array. You need to have the array symbol. You will say how we are having the array symbol. So I will say, let's say your array is having some values. These values only it is having in this way. First, second, and third. Okay, so double asterisk is coming, or let me write normal values. So 12, 12, 13. And you will get to know that array is getting printed like arrays. Now my question comes to you. How you convert an object into array? This is from JavaScript. You should be able to answer me this question. Converting object into an array. Yes, this is from JavaScript, guys. How to convert objects into array. Because if you run this array is getting printed as object. Searched. Why are you using mobile? Okay. So there are many options. Let me tell you first one. So here we are declaring an object first, and here we are having an array. Here we are having an array. So to this array, I will simply say one thing, that this array will take its value from object dot keys. It will take object dot keys from obj. Something like that I will say. And now this is getting printed as a array. You can take key or you can take object dot value. Both you can take values actually. Kept object dot values. So now you are getting the values. Same thing you need to do here. This data is a object. So I will say this dot currencies is equal to object dot values, values of data. And after that we will print this dot currencies to console. And you will see all the currencies are getting printed with their name, right? Now you got an array. Again we will try to render them. In option string interpolation I. You got all the currencies, but all the currencies are coming as separate option. They are not rendering inside a single option. They should come inside a single option and they are not coming. Why? All the currencies are coming, but all the currencies are coming as a different. So as of now, let me remove this. I will create a normal option. Let's say INR. Next option is USD. So you will see option tag is wrong. Now INR like this, these are coming. It means that your for loop is running inside the select box. So it will render it, it will create multiple select boxes. So instead of running the for loop here, run the for loop in this options box and the in this options tag run that for loop. Here what you need to use string interpolation of I. Okay. Same thing, same logic you need to perform here in this div also. Let's say now you will convert from 1 Indian rupee. So 1 Indian rupee to 1 Australian sizzling. That's it. Right? This is getting selected. Now in that way it will come. You need to attach a input box. For that, this from and this particular part should come in a same line. For that, I will create a box, means I will create a container and I will keep these two things in a same container. And to this, I will try to write a style that it is displaying a flex. So both are coming in the same now that from this, and you can create justify content space between so that they should have a space between them. From this to this. This also I will do the same thing. I will create a container here. I will keep these two things inside this container and same style I will write to this. From this particular to this particular, right? Okay. Now you need to create a input box to write the values obviously. So input type equals to tell. So in that way it will come. We will design everything, don't worry. Here you will write, let's say 23, 1 inch, something like that you will declare. And let's keep some break tag here. So too much, let's remove 2. Okay. Now we will be designing this input box. First of all, 2 also have an input box. Same thing, create a break tag and I will create a input type equals to tell here. In that way, right? We will design these things, don't worry. First of all, we are having a h3 tag. So I will write some design to this h3 tag. That font size is going to be around 24 pixel and color is going to be coral. So from and to these two input boxes, I will give them a ID. So ID I will give as INP, and this is going to have ID as INP. Let's call that ID here INP. First thing I will say to them that they have a width of 90% and they have a height of 45 pixel. They are having border bottom of around 1.5 pixel solid black. So you will see that input box are coming in this way. Both these input boxes are coming in this way. So height is fine, or keep the 100% height. Width you can reduce to 35 pixel. So input boxes are coming in this way. Okay. Remove the border and just say border none. They don't have any border. If you remove this line coming. Okay, so give them a background color, a light color background you can give in this way, and now you can remove the border. So border are removed. In this way you can write the values like this. Font size obviously you can increase. Font size I'll keep around 18 pixel and color I will keep around white. So if you are writing 2 3, so white color is not looking good. First we will change the color of this to red. So in that way designing part you can do actually, and my entire focus is on writing the logic. You can attach a padding from left to it. So padding from left of around 12 pixel. So like this. Then we will create a calculate button in between of these two. So I will create a button. Button will say calculate. So button is coming here. Calculate button. We should write some designing to our button as well. So to our button I will say that your height is around 35 pixel. Your width is around 80 pixel. You are having no border. Background color is going to be coral. So like that. Font size I will increase here to around 80 pixel. And color I will keep as white. Border radius I will keep around 12 pixel. So this is our button now. 12 pixel is actually too much. So keep here 6 pixel. So this is your button now. Cursor pointer I will give to it. Okay. Now this is your button. So what you will do, you will write a value here and here it will show the result. But if it is showing the result, why you are able to type in this input box? You should not be able to type in this input box. So for that, I will make this second input box as disabled. I will make it as disabled. Disabled means you cannot click on this now. It will be used to show the result directly. Right? So I will say disabled. Now what you need something that if you are selecting here, let's say $1. So select US dollar and you want to convert that to Indian rupee. You will write some value here 12 You will click on calculate and it should show the result here. For that, you should have something. You should have something. What you should have? You should have the values. How you will have those values? For that, you should declare in the typescript that what is your from currency. What is your from currency? Then you should say what is your to currency. What is your to currency? So you have declared two things, from currency and to currency. How you will set these values? So select write a function to this input box. So that is going to be a input method. In input, it will call a function, and that function that it is going to call is on from currency. On from currency. Declare this function in the typescript that on from currency. Just write some value to console so that we can check it. Go there, inspect it. If you are selecting something here, so it is printing. Now it should print whatever currency you are selecting. For that, I will send this function with a dollar event. In TypeScript, this function is accepting one event of type any, and it will set the values, or it will directly print the values here, that event dot target dot value, event dot target dot value. Now whatever currency you are selecting here, you should print that. So let's say I will select this Afghani, that is getting printed. If you select any other currency, immutable X, that is getting printed. If you are selecting something else, that is getting printed, right? And by default value is this 1 inch for both of them. So by default value is 1 inch to both of them. That's it. Now, same thing you need to do here as well. To this select box, on the input event, it will call a function that is on to currency. On to currency, and it will send that function with a dollar event. Same thing, copy paste, change the from to that on to currency. Check the source of page here and select any currency that is getting printed. It means that whatever currency you are selecting here, Angular know about it. Now what you should know how to convert these values. For that, you should take this value from input box. For that, attach a event to the input box at the top. So here we are having an input box. It will have a input event and it will call a function that from value. It is calling a function as from value. Now you should declare these two things also, that from val, and it is going to be a number, and you can set the by default value to 0. Then you have a to val, it is of number, by default value 0. From value function it will call, so write that function. Here I will say this dot from val equals to, here it will be coming with a event of type any, and you will set event dot target dot value. Just write the same thing there as well, that it is sending a dollar event. So whatever value you will write in this input box, it will go to there. Just for a purpose, print this value to console. This dot from well. So whatever value you are writing here, its value is getting printed. Okay, its value is getting printed. But this value is as a string. So you need to convert it to a number. That we will convert, of course, no issue. What you need now? You need the conversion ratio. For that, this button should have a click event, and click will call something as calculate function. So go to typescript and declare one function as calculate. When this function is getting declared, whatever value you are writing here and you are pressing the calculate button, it should convert that value. For that, again go to the link here, and this is the conversion ratio. Now conversion ratio is again coming in the same way, and you will notice that here it is taking the key values. It is taking the keys instead of values. It is taking key. Means it is converting all the currencies from key, not from the values. Okay, so first thing is you need to fetch the rate. So this is the current rate for today. 15th of February is today. This is the current rate. And you need to remove this EUR. And here you need to write something. What you need to write? You need to write USD. And now it is showing you the conversion rate of USD to other currencies. So search here INR. Today $1 is equals to 86.66 rupees. So this is the conversion rate that you need to multiply. How we will do it? First we should fetch this thing. So write fetch. In fetch we will fetch this link. Go there and paste. If you notice, this USD is a value that can change every time. Let's say user want to convert from INR. User want to convert from INR. So this value should be coming from outside. If you want to write a value from outside, then you need to remove these single quotes and you need to write their backtick, so that you should be able to write the expression here. Okay, got it. In which particular system you are sending the value? You are setting the from currency in from currency field. You are setting the currency in from currency. So here I will write this dot from currency. Same thing again, dot, then it will be having a response, converting that response to response dot JSON, and then after dot then you got data. It will be printing that data to console. That's it. Now you should get the data of currency whatever you are selecting here. Go there, go to console and select here something as Cardano and click on calculate. And you got the data. For whatever currency you are selecting, you are getting that particular data here. If you are selecting, let's say you are selecting here USD. Where is American dollar? US dollar. Now, okay, so every time it is printing from 1 inch only. So you can actually remove the by default values. Could not find the valid JSON. Okay, so this particular value is not getting selected. This dot from currency, this, that. Because here we have set all the names of values. We have selected the values. If you are selecting object dot key, object dot keys, this dot currencies, object data, what the thing is, this, that. So you can write plus object dot values of data. This dot currencies, it's array object dot keys. What the problem? Type string is not assignable to type never. Currencies will of any type and it is having a array. It will make a slighter change in your project that now you will be getting all the currency code here. You will be getting all the currency code instead of name. For that you need to select something. I am doing this change so that we can get the rate. So click any currency here, let's say USD. So I will write USD calculate. Again, this is the problem that we want to solve here. Right, that it cannot fetch this particular API. So what it is trying to fetch, it will go once, because it is saying that this dot currencies is undefined. This particular part is not defined. Everything is all clear, right? Everything is all clear. You just need to convert all the data to their particular values. Because when you are setting the keys, if we are setting the values, so now you will get the currency names. But here it is not able to fetch that part. For that, you need to hold a value, that is the from currency. That is the from currency. And this from currency is you are setting here. So write it. So I will say this dot from currency equals to event dot target dot value. Now you are setting the from currency. Go to inspect again. Go to console. Select any currency here. And now it is saying that it is not able to find that particular name, because entire thing it is writing. So if you are mapping the keys here, not values, go to console and select any currency here, let's say USD. Click on calculate. And now it is sending the USD data to other ones. It is sending, it means that it is working on keys. If you want it to work with the values, so if you are trying to write in this way that each element is going to have, yeah, object dot entries we can write. So here if we are writing all the entries of the object, I'm coming to that part. In this way you are setting the values, so you will get key and value both. you will get key and value both. So go to inspect, go to console. You can select any, let's say I will select American dollar here. So that is US dollar. And when you are trying to calculate, here this is the problem on object.entries, that it will not be able to find that particular link, because link will be coming in this way, that US dollar, USD hyphen US dollar. Okay. So whenever you are setting this value, even.target.value, okay, so understand it that how it will come. So it will come as USD hyphen US dollar. Instead of printing this direct thing value, if you are trying to print the keys only, that print the keys of values only. So now let's select something undefined. So object.entries we cannot write. If we are writing object.entries, we need to map these values. So why I'm saying that we need to map the values, because whenever you are converting the data, let's say I'll go here and select one currency. So it is printing that. I'll go ahead. You need to take the first value. So if I'm saying that values with the indexing 0, go there again and select one currency. This time it is printing the first letter. Here again first letter. 0 means it will print the very first letter. If you want to print the first word, what is the logic for that? If we want to print the, let's say you are selecting here this Pakistani rupee, so it will print only P. For that you need to split it. You need to split it. How you will split? I want to take the key only. How we will split that value? All these logic are from JavaScript. How you will split these values? This logic is from JavaScript, normal JavaScript. Values dot split. If we are saying values dot split directly, then indexing, you know what is will be the result here? This will be the result. Okay. If you are trying to give the split it with a comma, right? And then if you are trying to say with the zeroth indexing, split with a comma and with the zero indexing. So this is the way. Now you got the logic. Same thing you can set here. So this dot currencies is equals to this particular part. Now if you are selecting here US dollar, so it should convert your values from US dollar. But error. Lot of errors. Remove, refresh. Again we will select US dollar. So it is printing USD. After that only it is telling you the error. Error in the app component HTML 23rd line. Here. In the to section. For of now, what I will do is I will remove this entire div and go there back, select the US dollar. See, using API is not a big deal. Again, it is throwing a error. Error trying to diff USD, only arrays and iterables are allowed. USD is getting printed. This is the problem, right? This is the problem. Okay, this error we can understand for a while. Keep the div back and I will select some currency here. Let's say Aave I have selected. I'll try to calculate. Error, error, and error. How this value is going? For that, go to typescript file again and you are setting this value. Instead of printing this value, I will print this dot currencies. Wait, here we did one mistake that it should be this dot from currency. And here also this dot from currency. Go to inspect again and select any currency now. No errors, calculate. You are getting the rate of conversion also, right? You are getting rate of conversion. Now, same way you will do it with the to section also. So I will say this dot to currency is equals to event dot target dot value dot split it when it is encountering a comma with the indexing 0. So now to currency also you will get, from currency also you will get. Now you need to print the conversion rate. What you need to print? The conversion rate. So what I will do is, instead of printing this entire data to console, how I will print it? I will try to print data dot INR. I'm trying to print data dot INR. So select here USD and I will try to check it undefined. It means that first you need to get the data value. That whenever you are selecting a US dollar, you should get the conversion rate of it. So go to US dollar, where it is, and calculate. Again, you are getting a object only. Again, you are getting a object only. Same thing you need to do here. Object dot, these are the key here. So object dot key, this is first key USD, right? So USD. Let me show you these things in React, because in companies it is not fixed that if you are getting selected for Angular, so you will be working on Angular only. Lot of things are same. So same thing here, calculate result. In that way, whatever you are getting, so data will be having the indexing. Data will be having the indexing. Go back to Angular now. And I will try to print the data in this way. The data here I will print, let's say USD and INR. USD INR. So we have to restart it. Currency hyphen converter. Now it is saying that this particular USD and INR, these two things are not defined. So I will write them as a string. I will write them as a string. And now we'll check if it is building. Okay, so it is building. Go to inspect. I will select US dollar here. Selected. Calculate. And you got the conversion rate. So very good. Now what you need to do, so instead of printing this data, you need to call the to val here. So to val is equals to what? Whatever the value is in the input box, that value is multiplied by data with the indexing of from currency and with the indexing of to currency. That's it. And then in the result box of this input box, I will write its value. Its value is equals to string interpolation to val. So first thing, let's select US dollar here. US dollar. Array, where it is. And I want to convert it to Indian rupees. Let's say 10 US dollar. So it is saying that NAN here means something is working, but value is not coming properly. So for that we should understand something here. Okay, so this one is the problem, right? This one. We'll refresh. Same thing will select any currency you can select just for conversion. Again, okay, something we are doing. No, not this one. Wait. Split will be a function and it will split on the indexing with the 0. You got this? Now let's try to convert. If you are getting US dollar and you want to convert that US dollar to Indian rupee. So 10 US dollar will be equals to 866 Indian rupee. That's it. That's fine. Now it is working fine. You can check it for any other currency. And this is the exact size that I need. For that, the main part is container. To this dot container, I will say that it is on a scale of 1.2. 1.3. I'm scaling it. So this is what you will get by default. Now this is your app, so you can refresh it. Here also it is having 0. This also by default value I will keep as 0. So here by default value is equals to 0. Okay, so both are having by default value as 0. And these box from currency and to currency, they are having by default value as 1 inch. That's it. Now let's try to convert 1 Indian rupee to some other currency. For that we will select 1 Indian rupee. 1 Indian rupee to Vietnamese dong. So Vietnamese dong. 10 Indian rupees will be equal to around 2937 Vietnamese dong. And this is today's rate. So right here INR to Vietnam currency. So 292 and our is showing 2937. Almost same. Right? So this is what our currency converter app was. Right? In that we made use of API from Fawaz Ahmad GitHub link. There you got these links. Even I'll give you the source code of this. Guys, we have other topics to discuss. You can create and check these project on other currencies. Okay, because I need to discuss about other things also. Okay, so we got the project in this link. You can test it on any other currency as well, and it will work fine. That's how you make use of APIs and other things to quickly write your data. And there are a lot of other projects also. I'm telling you one website. See, I love building projects. I can build one project daily, but it's not a way to how the academy works. There are fixed timings. We cannot develop more and more projects. I'm telling you one website. That one website is Rapid API. You can go to this website and there are thousands of APIs are available. Thousands. Like Instagram API is there. It means that you just keep the link of any photo from Instagram, reel from Instagram, story from Instagram, or any other post, and it will download in your system. Lot of APIs are there that you can do. Now we are going to discuss about RSJX. RxJX and observable. Understood? We are going to talk about RSJX. So it is nothing. It is just a extension. What it is? It is a extension. So we will write RSJX. RSJX is an extension which stands for React reactive, actually not React. So it is the reactive extension. If you understand, reactive means whenever you are trying to react to something. So it is going to be reactive extension for JavaScript. Extension for JavaScript. It can be defined as a library for reactive programming. If you want to do any reactive programming, then you can use that using observable. Using observable. It is widely used in Angular for handling an asynchronous data stream, event handling, and HTTP request. So RSJX is a reactive library that you can use along with observable. Why it is used? It is used in Angular for handling an asynchronous data stream. Why it is used? It is used for asynchronous data stream, event handling, and HTTP request. The same thing you are doing with this fetch, you can do with the RSJS as well. Same thing. There is no change. Now we discussed something about observable here. So what is exactly is this observable? Observable is used along with RSJX in reactive programming. In reactive programming, where we use it, we use this observable along with RSJX in reactive programming. But what is this? It represents a stream of values. So if you want to do reactive programming, RSJX is a library to do that, and observable is a method of accepting that data. What is observable? It is a method of accepting that data. It can emit multiple values over time. Why we use observable here? Because we are directly writing response.json, data.json, then we are printing data. In observable, it can emit multiple values over time automatically. You don't need to convert it every time. It has some key concepts. So those key concepts are simple. The first one is observable is itself a key concept. In that we got observer, then we got subscription, then we got operators, subject. These are some of the key concepts in observable. Now we will define them, that what is observable. So it represents a data stream. What is the observer? It listens to the observable and reacts to emitted values. What is a subscription? It is a way to start and stop listening to observable. Right? And then we got these operators. What is the work of operators? They are the functions that help to manipulate the observable stream. Then we got subject, a special type of observable that allow multicast. These were your RSGX and observable. So this is a library actually, which we are going to use in Angular. But when we will use these and how we will create them, what is the reason why we need to do them? See here, there was a problem when we were trying to fetch our data. Here we were trying to fetch our data, so this was a problem. So this currency converter app is already completed. So I will remove it and I will open this demo project. In this demo project, let's create a service. So ng generate service. I will generate it in the service. First, let's go to app. In app, I will create a folder as services. In demo, I will go to src slash app slash services. ng generate service test. So I'm creating a test service. Go to services and test services. Here, you might be seeing a constructor. Okay, that is fine. That is like no issue. First, you should be importing the observable. So I will import observable. And for that, you need to import RxJS first. So I will say import RxJS. So that is already coming. RxJS library. Go there and search Angular RxJS library. Go to the official documentation. For that, these are the things that you need to import. So copy and paste. You are importing two things, from and observable from RSJX. After that, how to use them? Simple, you can create a endpoint of an API. So that's how you create the endpoint of any API. So you are creating this something as data. As this is a class, so you can directly write something as data equals to from fetch API. Means you will fetch the data from this endpoint and then you will subscribe to this data. You will subscribe to this data. Let me tell you how we will do it. So for that, what I will do, remove it. I am creating a function here. Let's say fetch data. In this fetch data, I will try to fetch the same API, currency converter API. So this is the link here. This one. Copy this. In this fetch API, you need to convert that. For that, it is telling us that you need to have a function to fetch the value. You have to fetch a function. For that, I will create data is equals to fetch. In fetch, this is the link. Okay. So data equals to fetch. Now in this fetch data function, you can directly subscribe to it. So I will try to say that data dot subscribe. Now this subscription will be having a problem. What is the problem there? It will say that there is a duplicate identifier data. In that you need to convert it to the observable data. We need to convert it to a observable data, right? We need to convert it from a observable. For that, let's create a function here. So I will create a function as fetch data. And this fetch data, I will say that it is going to have a type something as observable. In that way, that function is having a type as observable, and it is a type of, let's say, t. It's a type of t. Now what is this t? So let's say if I am saying that it will be of type data, this observable will be type of data. Now it should return the data. This particular part should return the data value. Now when you are trying to return this data value, we say the promise response is missing in the following properties. So should we lift square and more three more. Okay, so no problem. Here you can write this dot data. Now if you see that if you are trying to use this particular part here, so you need to convert the function to observable and then you can subscribe this value, which we have already discussed in the API of weather, that how you will be using the observable. One more thing that is not in your syllabus here, but I'm telling you, that is Redux. This is also a library actually, or it is used for state management. Why it is used? It is used for state management. Let me show you a glimpse of this as here on the official website, that is Redux with Angular. So when you are going to Redux with Angular, you will go to the official websites in that way. So you can go to this website. It will tell you what is a Redux, when to use Redux or stores in general, something like that. You can consider that Redux is used to store the values or store the state. Generally, Redux is too much used with React. It is not used with Angular. So let's say here you are having some variable, let's say number, and number will be in num and its type will be number. By default value is 12. Something like that you are saying. So Redux will be used to manage the state of this number, that you change it from 12 to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, something like that you have said. So that's for Redux. Generally, it's not in your syllabus. So that's how all we pack up with the Angular course. Let me tell you how many good projects we have built and what we have learned throughout the course. We have learned how to provide the authentication in Angular using Firebase. Firebase, by the way, was not in your syllabus, right? It was a static authentication, but I taught you this. Second was how to create root, means if you have multiple pages, how we will do that. These are good projects. Then we created a good project, that is Book Depot, full stack project, which is having login, sign up, database, everything. Currency converter, this is also a complete project. Then we created a Hyderabad project. Then we created a M Reader project. Rock Paper Caesar was good project. And I think when I was teaching you TypeScript and JavaScript, we also did tic-tac-toe with you, right? Okay, we did tic-tac-toe with you. So that is not mentioned here because we did that using simple JavaScript, I think. So that also you can use. Then we created a shoe cart app. Then we created a temp weather project and Zerodha as a full stack project. Shoe cart, I didn't remember what was it. So let's check shoe cart once. So around 7, 8 good projects we did. The general number was 4 projects, right? So If you are a very fresher, at least mention three projects. Which three projects? Okay, this was our shoe cart in which we were able to add them into cart. So it will show the cart number. Out of the projects that we have built, if you want your resume to get selected, you can add the weather app, you can add the M reader, you can add the currency converter, and you can add the book depot. These, or like all of projects you can import, but at least